Searches in Google for restaurants of all types continue to grow exponentially every year. People are going to mobile to find restaurants, to find food, lunch, dinner, and breakfast. So, do Google Ads work for restaurants? It's a common question. And the short answer is yes, Google Ads for restaurants do work. But consider this. Google owns 98% of all search traffic in every mobile device and on the web. The number one mobile phone operating system is Android, which is made by Google. Google is the first place people go to find a restaurant or for directions within Google Maps to your restaurant. Yes, Google Ads for restaurants work. Hi everyone, I'm Toby Danilchuk with 39 Celsius Web Marketing Consulting. And in this short video, I'm going to dive into Google's ad platform and show you Google ad tactics you do not want to miss for promoting your restaurant. Ad tactics that in many cases do not cost a lot of money, but will grow new customers, increase repeat visitors, grow gift card sales, and even promote catering if you provide that as a service. And since I do this as a profession, if you need help with running Google Ads for your restaurant, please reach out to me directly and we can chat about your options for your restaurant. My email is toby@39celsius.com or call us at 951-444-0174. Without further ado, let's get into the content. I want to start with how do Google Ads work? First, there are two types of campaigns. There are search and there are display ad campaigns. And display ads show on other websites, within YouTube videos, or within apps as well. For search ads, you bid on keywords to show your text ad in search results. For example, this restaurant search ad appearing on mobile, notice that this ad takes up the entire screen. On mobile devices, you have to scroll down to reach the unpaid organic listings. So definitely a benefit right there in terms of Google paid ads in search is that your mobile ad shows at the top and takes up the entire screen. You will occupy all that space with an ad. Another common question I get as well is how much do ads cost? So for the most part, you can set any monthly budget you want. You typically pay per click when someone clicks on your ads. The cost for search terms can vary quite a bit depending on the keyword and how competitive it is. Generally speaking, search terms will cost anywhere from under $1 per click up to $5 to $10 per click. Display ad clicks are far less expensive and can cost as little as pennies. But for search ads, the more economically valuable a term is, the more expensive. So don't necessarily be scared off by the cost per click. Cost per click is also an indicator of its value, right? If people are willing to bid it up, it likely means that it's profitable. So let's talk about your Google ad goals. Identifying your goals, one of the first steps you need to do when you're setting up a Google ad campaign. Are you trying to increase repeat business through retargeting? Do you want to grow phone calls to your restaurant, grow website traffic, promote your restaurant app, or just grow new customers? These are all valid goals. Smaller budgets might limit how many of these goals you can achieve, and obviously larger budgets will give you more room to go after more goals. But your goals will drive the type of campaign that you set up. So here's an example of the type of campaign goals Google provides. Let's talk about search campaign structure. Google Ads is a very organized platform and a logical ad platform. It operates best when you're organized as well. The general structure of a campaign is the campaign followed by ad groups, followed by ads, followed by keywords. At the campaign level, where you will set budgets and start and end dates, for example. Ad groups, on the other hand, below the campaign level, are organized by themes that hold your ads and keywords. In this example, we have one for hamburgers and one for catering. Ads and keywords need to align for the best results. So for optimal results, the ads and the keywords for hamburgers need to be the same. And ideally, the landing page needs to reflect hamburgers as well, and the converse is the same with the catering ad group. So if you're bidding on pizza, let's say, and your ad doesn't speak about pizza, maybe you do hamburgers as well there, and then your landing page doesn't talk about pizza, where they go after they click on the ad, you're going to have bad results. The consequence of this is that Google will charge you more versus a competitor that does have this alignment between the ads, the keywords, and the landing pages. So being organized around a theme is critical to your success. And the consequence of not having this alignment is poorer performance, which means fewer clicks, and most importantly, Google will charge you, the advertiser, more per click. Google wants quality advertisers, and it rewards quality advertisers that have good organization and alignment between ads, keywords, and landing pages with lower costs. So let's talk about keyword research and tools for search campaigns. The first tool is the Google Keyword Planner. It's free, which is great. It will give you a good list and data about the types of keywords that you can bid on. Next, you also might consider your Google Business Profile and look at keywords under the Insights section within that. Indicate or show you keywords that people are using to find your restaurant in the organic search results and within Maps. You can use those results as well and populate Google's Keyword Planner to help generate more ideas and more keywords. So how do you choose which keywords? Here are some considerations to think about. Monthly search volume. So clearly, if there isn't enough search volume, you're not going to get much qualified traffic. The next thing is to look at is competition. So some keywords are more competitive than others. Competition will drive up costs. Relevance. How relevant is the keyword to your business? These are just a handful of the factors to consider when choosing keywords to bid for in a search campaign. The next thing that you need to consider about keywords has to do with keyword match types. Now, match types allow you to be loose or strict with your keywords. So what do I mean by that? Let's take this example, best hamburgers. So depending on how loose or strict you want to be in your search campaign, Google could match that as an example to someone typing in best hamburgers near me, or what are the best hamburgers, or how do you make the best hamburgers. So you can see there can be many variations, some of which you're not going to want to bid on. But you can control this variation and how loose or tight the keyword is very easily. Google provides what are called 3 different keyword match types that help control all the different variations that could show for a keyword or phrase. Those 3 match types are broad phrase, exact match, and phrase match. Broad will match your keyword to all sorts of variations, synonyms, misspellings, related terms, and will have no limits in how many other keywords may show or in what order the words appear. Broad match is the loosest match type, and you indicate broad match to Google with no marks around the keywords. For example, just best hamburger in town. The next match type is a little more restrictive, and it's called phrase match, and you indicate this to Google with quotations. So best hamburger in town with quotations around it. This tells Google that those keywords need to appear in that order for your ad to show, but you can have words appear before or after that. Phrase match again is a bit more stricter than broad match. And finally, we have what is called exact match, and you indicate exact match to Google by using brackets around the phrases like this, best hamburger in town, with a bracket on either side. Exact match tells Google only show my ad when someone types in exactly that phrase with no words before and no words after. So which keyword match types should you use? Let's talk about some of the implications of those 3. Here's a way to think about this to help you figure out what strategy is best for your particular situation. Broad match. So the pros with broad match is that it'll match to all sorts of variations that perhaps may be important to you as a restaurant that you did not realize or include in your original list. The drawback is that it can cost you more money, as you will spend on clicks that are perhaps not relevant because you're going to show for keywords that maybe you didn't want to. Phrase match. The pros with this is that you're going to cut out some of the wasted clicks that broad match had included, and you're going to focus more around the keyword that you want. The drawback is you could lose out on some keywords that may be relevant as well. Finally, exact match, the most restrictive. The pros with exact match is that it will focus your keyword on exactly what you want. There's very little wasted clicks on irrelevant keywords compared to broad and phrase match. The drawback is that it's very restrictive. You'll miss out on some keywords that are going to be very valuable to you. So you have to weigh your options here. So next, let's discuss display ads, the second type of ad type that outside of search that we're discussing here. Display ads are typically image and banner ads, perhaps video ads as well, that show on other websites or within Gmail or on YouTube. Although you can use text ads as well in display campaigns, so not just banner ads. But unlike search ads that are keyword driven, display ads use different targeting methods completely from a search campaign. So here's a quick rundown of the types of targeting for Google display ads for restaurants. We can target by specific audiences, remarketing audiences. There are interest and habit audiences that are called affinity audiences. There are people actively researching for your type of a restaurant. That's called an in-market audience. There's demographics, topics, keywords, and there are specific placements you can have your ad show on. Now, in this video, I don't have enough time to cover all the options here, but the most effective ones, if you're new to Google Ads for Restaurant, include remarketing audiences. So this would target anyone that has visited your website or interacted with a YouTube video if you have video content. Or if you have a list of past customers, emails and phone numbers, these people can be targeted as well. People stay on a Google remarketing list for more than a year. And the benefit of this is huge. You're maintaining mind share with past customers. You can change up your promotions and push those updates to these past visitors. This is a great example, again, of maintaining brand awareness and mind share in the mind of your consumer. And most importantly, the benefit is that it's going to grow repeat visitors. After all, the people that are most likely to purchase from you, again, are your existing customers that know your brand. Next are what we call affinity audiences. These are people with specific interests and habits that Google knows. This is just an example, but for example, coffee shop regulars, people that eat at Mexican restaurants often or Italian restaurants often. There are dozens of options to target in here. In market audiences, these are slightly different from affinity audiences. These are groups of people that consist of future customers that are actively researching for your restaurant type. So a subtle variation from affinity audiences. And remember, these types of ad audiences are very low cost with high exposure. So there's some very good options here to target that are not going to cost a lot of money. The final list of targeting options in display ads as well includes demographic targeting based on age, sex, marital status, education level, and more. Then there's topics. Here you can choose specific topics you want to target. For example, specific cooking shows or programs. You can use keywords. You can target sites based on particular keywords. So Google will show your ads on pages about that word. So don't confuse that with keywords in a search campaign. They're very different. And finally, you can choose specific placements, websites, YouTube channels or individual videos that you want your ad to show on. And this can be a huge benefit as well if you know your customers watch specific YouTube videos or channels or visit certain sites, for example. So let's next talk about the creative for display ads. Your banner ads for these display ads will show on other websites. Those ad spots on other websites have all sorts of different sizes. Some are horizontal, some are vertical, short. The dimensions vary greatly. So Google gives you two different types of options to create ads. Responsive display, and you can load, the other option is load your own ads that you created in a fixed dimensions and load those into Google. Responsive display is really your best option for display ads because responsive ads are faster to create for you and more efficient and more effective. You just upload a handful of assets, your logo, some images, and Google will create the ads that will fit into almost any ad slot. And second, responsive ads will show on many more sites as it allows Google to make ad sizes that will fit any size ad slot on other websites. So again, for responsive ads, you upload images of your food or your restaurant, you load up your logo, perhaps a short video if you have it, and then you write up 5 headlines and a long headline variation as well. Google will do all the rest in terms of organizing the creative and the text to show your ad for your restaurant in specific ad slots. The other benefit of using responsive display versus creating your own banner ads from scratch is that Google will split test different headlines and descriptions and find the ones that work the best for you. You don't have that option when you create your own banner ads from scratch with fixed dimensions. The next thing I want to talk about, which is important and an important tactic with Google Ads for restaurants, is dayparting ad strategies and advertising during specific days of the week. Dayparting is setting your campaigns to only run during specific hours of the day. So I'm sure you can think of a lot of good examples about why this is beneficial, but it's helpful in many different scenarios. So for example, perhaps you have lunch specials. So you run your lunch special ads from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. every day, Monday through Friday. Or perhaps you have happy hour specials that you run in the late afternoon, Monday through Friday. You're going to run those right before happy hour. Then run your dinner specials from 3 to 11 p.m. and showcase your dinner specials that you have coming up. Or perhaps you're running calendar promotions. Maybe it's Mother's Day, Christmas, St. Patty's Day. You can create a campaign to start and end on specific days without having to remember to shut it off. I would also limit your ads from running 24 hours a day and perhaps run only during business hours. Next, let's talk about the geotargeting. You have a lot of options for geotargeting. You can set a pin drop on a map and a radius around your restaurant from 1 kilometer, 1 mile, 10, 20 miles. You can target by zip codes, cities, counties, and more. You likely know where the majority of your local customers are coming from, so target accordingly. In this example, I'm targeting 2 miles around the zip code of 92128 in San Diego. Next is bidding and conversions. One of the final features of setting up a Google ad campaign for your restaurant is choosing the bid strategy and then finally setting up the conversions. It's beyond the initial scope of this video to dive into each of these and why, but the safe bet initially is to set your campaign to maximize clicks. Google will identify those people that are most likely to click through to your site to learn more about your restaurant, what you have. You'll want to make sure as well that you have the Pixel, the Google Pixel installed on your site so all these people that are landing on your website can be targeted later in a remarketing audience, as I talked about earlier. And finally, conversions. You don't want to forget to set up conversions in your Google Ads account. This allows you to target and optimize for specific actions and behaviors within each of your campaigns and actions that matter most to you. So not just clicks. Likely you'll want to target people that want to make phone calls to book a reservation, Or perhaps you want to track actions within your app if you have a restaurant app. Or perhaps you want to track certain actions on your website like gift card sales or other behaviors. So that's a pretty quick overview of Google Ads for restaurants. Hopefully it piqued your curiosity and interest in about some of the tactics and strategies that are great options for you to reach your ideal local restaurant customer. I only scratched the surface here, but hopefully, again, that it stimulated the gears in your brain from marketing to go, and you'll give this a shot because there's a lot of value here for you as a restaurant to grow new business. And if you need help with these restaurant campaigns within Google, we do this as a profession. We've been doing this for over a decade. Please feel free to reach out to us at 951-444-0174 or email me directly at toby@39celsius.com. And until next time, I'll see you